member of the local chapter of United Nations Association, one of 142 across the country. And I'd like to invite you to be part of that. I have a special invitation to young students, and we can give you a national membership in the United Nations Association free. Just talk to Wayne about it, and I'll give him the information. Our next meeting will be October 24th, our annual dinner. Today is United Nations International Day of Peace. It was originated in 1981, and the following year they made it a world ceasefire and made it a world event. I want to read to you the statement by UN Secretary Ban Ki-moon that's being read throughout the world at today's event. Today is the International Day of Peace. Each year on this day, the United Nations calls for a global ceasefire. We ask combatants to put down their arms so we all can breathe an air of peace. Armed conflict causes untold grief to families, communities, and entire countries. Too many are suffering today at the brutal hands of warmongers and terrorists. Let us stand with those suffering in solidarity. Peace and security are essential foundations for social progress and sustainable development. That is why 3 decades ago, the United Nations affirmed the right of people to peace. Throughout the coming year, we will commemorate the 70th anniversary of the United Nations. Our organization is founded on the pledge to save succeeding generations from the scourge of war. We have made much progress, but there is much more to be done. We must douse the fires of extremism and tackle the root causes of conflict. Peace is a long road that we must travel together, step by step, beginning today. Let us all observe a moment of silence at noontime. Let's all reflect on peace and what it means to our human family. Let us hold in our hearts and minds and tenderly nurture it so it may grow and blossom.
Our Vice President is Charles Gritz, and please give him a great big hand because he's the one that put this whole thing together and made this thing happen. And this is Kenny Stoves. He is our secretary. Excuse me, I almost messed it up and said you were our treasurer that held all the money and stuff, but he's our secretary. And this is Marcos Molenberg, who is a member of the board, and he just joined our organization. He's actually from originally from the Netherlands, so we are becoming international. And I'm Japanese, in case you didn't know that. But I was born here. And then we have Mercedes Hogan, who is going to become the new member of our board, and you're going to hear a lot more from Mercedes because she's one of the MCs today. And we're going to be turning the program over to them. So thank you. Appreciate you being, and anybody want to say a couple words? Or?
I'm not shy. Thank you all for being here today. This is a very important event. Around the world, these are going on. And Mercedes will explain a little bit more about it later and how this came to be as she's emceeing. One of the things I would like to just read real quick is what our mission is with I Am Peace and what we do. It's not just about putting events on, it's about what we have our purpose for. I just want to read the mission: to provide mentoring programs for youth with an emphasis on building character, respecting diversity, and creating in our communities, country, and the world a philosophy of peace. This is what we're focusing on. We focus on the youth. They're going to be our future. And we focus on the 2 main things we're doing is mentoring our youth our at-risk youth, creating peace clubs in all the schools if we can. That's what we need volunteers for. And lastly, and importantly, we're building a peace park across from Grant High School. These are the first phases of things that I Am Peace is focusing on. So you want to join a great organization and help out, you don't necessarily have to be on the board. We're always looking for volunteers. And all these people here, we all have a purpose and a mission to make this happen, to make our youth better people in the future. You see a lot of youth out here with these t-shirts on, okay? These people, these kids, they have the right direction in life. And that's what we want to focus on. Giving our kids that's going to control our future and help us prosperity. Let's help the kids get to where they need to be in life, okay? Thank you very much.
Time magazine voted Sacramento as the most diverse city in the United States. So if we're the most diverse city in the United States, if we can get all the different diversities of Sacramento to unite, we have peace. And that's our goal. And that's what we're started off, that's what we're doing, is that through our efforts and what we've been putting together is, that's our main focus, is to create peace here in Sacramento and then carry that on to the rest of California, the rest of the United States, and the rest of the world. So we have a great task. We need all of you to get involved and help us with this task, because it is a huge responsibility, but we're going to do it. And as long as I'm here, that's my mission. So please join us. We're dedicating this day to a very dear friend of ours. His name is Grantland Johnson, and maybe some of you know who he is, or you've heard about him. Grantland Johnson grew up in Del Paso Heights. He went to Grant High School. He went on to college, and then he became the first African American in the City Council of Sacramento, and also on the County Board of Supervisors. From there, he went on and became a regional Secretary of Health, Education, and Welfare during the Clinton administration, and then came back to the state of California and was the Secretary of State of the California state government. And today, we're very honored to have with us Supervisor, I messed up, I'm sorry, Phil Cerna, who actually credits Grantland for mentoring him, and so today is dedicated to Grantland in his honor, and we asked Phil to come up and please say a few words about Grantland.
Well, good afternoon, and pleased to be here on this Day of Peace. I want to thank the I Am Peace Board of Directors for putting this event together, and for all of you for being here today to acknowledge not just the four well-deserving awardees today, and we're honored to be here with our former Mayor Ann Rudin, someone I look up to as one of my heroes. But as was just mentioned, on August 19th, we lost another hero for this community, one that was steeped in it from his youth. And as was mentioned, growing up in Del Paso Heights, Grantland Johnson knew firsthand the social injustice that was pervasive at that time in that community, and to a large extent still continues in some fashion today. But I will be the first to tell you that as someone that really looked up to Grantland, that asked for his advice often, I can think of no better role model, not just for me as a junior county board member, but for other electeds across the region, certainly for our youth, for educators, and those that have dedicated themselves to social justice and peace. And so I think it's very fitting that today, as part of this afternoon's acknowledgments, that we have a moment of silence dedicated to the passing of a great civic leader, Grantland L. Johnson. If you would join me, please. Thank you. We love you, Grantland, and we know that where you're at, you're enjoying a peace like no other. Thank you again. Thank you. We are honored this afternoon to also be in the presence of Grantland's best achievement. I've told her this several times before and after her father's passing, but there's no greater achievement, and Grantland, if he were here today, would tell you than his beautiful daughter, Patrice. So I want to present these flowers to Patrice in honor of her great father. For those that are interested, the Sacramento County Board of Supervisors will be presenting at 9:30 on Tuesday morning a resolution acknowledging the many contributions of Grantland Johnson, not just to the County of Sacramento, but to the entire community. We are also going to be passing, I'm going out on a limb here, I think we're going to get a unanimous vote, passing a resolution renaming the county's Department of Health and Human Services building after Grantland. So hope to see you there.
Bill, thank you. And before you leave, we have a little token of our appreciation for you being here and saying thank you for this, for being here. And
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
appreciate you taking your time to be here.
Sure, absolutely.
We are also honoring 4 women, and they're going to be up here a little bit later, but I just want to let you know that we are also honoring 4 women. Wait a minute, I know what I was going to say. Those roses actually come from the garden right across the way, and we thank the co-founder and organizer of the Peace Rose Garden for taking the loving care and picking those flowers. Sylvia, one of the founders, thank you very much. Would you stand up, please, for a minute? And where's TJ? TJ's in the back there. He's the one that picked all these flowers for our awards today, and we thank you very much for all that, taking the time and effort to do that. As I said, we're honoring 4 women today, and they'll be coming up on stage a little bit later, but I just want to say who they are so that you'll know. Elaine Whitefeather, who is the Executive Director of a Community for Peace in Citrus Heights, which is a domestic violence organization, and she is currently working with youth, and so that's one of the reasons why we're collaborating with her and the things that she's doing. And she's doing an outstanding job. This lady is, I'm just going to, because I know her a little bit, and so I'm just going to say a couple words. She lectures worldwide, this lady, and to have her here in Sacramento is a really honor for her to be here and to be with us. So, Elaine, thank you. The other person is Ann Rudin, and probably a lot of you are very familiar with her. She used to be the mayor of Sacramento. And so, Ann, would you stand up just for a second, please, so we can introduce you? And she'll be up here on stage in a minute. And the 4th honoree today is Sister Hansa. Is she here this evening? Will you please stand up, sister? And so those are the 4 ladies that we're honoring today at this thing, because it is about peace. And so here are 4 great women peacemakers of Sacramento.
So here's to all the future generations, and here's some little dancers up here in the front that are here with us. And this is for all of you, for that child inside you as well. May peace continue and peace be with us forever. Om Teo.
Om Shanti. Today we are celebrating something that we have already within our own self. So I invite all of you, let's have a moment of peace, moment of silence. Take deep breaths and feel this surrounding of this beautiful nature, this greenery, this wonderful people and the spirit of peace. You choose to feel the fragrance of peace here. Om Shanti. Since we are connected with this wonderful youth group, and as you heard, it was my fortune that when I was 18 years old, I was able to connect to this organization. And this organization, Brahma Kumari's World Spiritual University, who is teaching the education of peace, they are the partners of peace with the United Nations. And today we are celebrating this International Day of Peace in 139 countries. So we all can feel being part of this beautiful globe. And with youth we are today, perhaps we all will like to have some stories. I am the person of stories. So I like that one story that once one teacher gave teared off world map to a student and said, would you mind to fix this? And student said, of course, why not? And so after some time, relatively lesser time than teacher expected, he brought the world map. He said, wow, that's a great job. How did you do this? Did you know which corner of the world was existed where, so you put it together? He said, sir, no, I didn't. And relatively the student was younger to know whole world. So said, how did you do it? So he flipped the page. And what was behind that? There was a figure of a human being. He said, I didn't know which part of the world is existing in which corner, but I didn't know. I did knew where to put the feet and where to put the hands and where to put the head. And I put together one human being, and back of that page, the whole world was settled down, came together. Isn't it interesting? So that's the message that Brahma Kumari organization is giving to the world, who has received the 5 Peace Messenger Award in 1988 when United Nations declared the Year of Peace. Brahma Kumari organization celebrated it as a million minutes of peace appeal. And so we were requesting, we all are busy, of course, busy doing so many things. We said, you out of your busy doing, you just get little time of being yourself, being of peace. And we collected the minutes. Can you do 10 minutes for 1 week? Just sit in silence. And so that way we did the project in 120 countries, and we received more than so many billion minutes. That was like United Nations felt, wow, what is this? And so our administrative head received the International Peace Messenger Award and 4 another national awards. So what is the bottom line of this International Day of Peace? Is we celebrate everyday peace within ourselves, that we are being of peace. It is like a diamond is in the box. So I am being of peace. I am an angel of peace. I am an image of peace. I am a goddess of peace. Whatever fits to me. So every day morning, I start my day when I look at in the mirror, I am being of peace. And let me live my life like that. Just simple, very simple. When you start your car, I am peace. When you look at the traffic on the road, I am peace. When you go in the kitchen, put the water on your stove to make your tea, I am making the peace tea. When you put the pot to make your vegetables, I am making peace vegetables. Just bring peace. Simple. And so, one thing we all can learn to do, I like when the first dance happened, she said sometimes we forget to do deep breathing. So breathe in peace. But along with that, I will inspire and share that every day look at the sky. From where the peace is showering every single day. And in Sacramento, we are very lucky. If you are in London, you will see so many clouds. Sacramento is a clean, clear sky most of the time. Every day morning and every day evening, look at it and say, I am receiving the peace. So we all can accept the peace in our life in such a way that slowly, slowly it will have a ripple effect. In the end, I will share one story. One king announced one day that there is one very big, nice pond. It's empty. And he announced in his whole kingdom that everybody has to come, and at the midnight, you have to pour one big jar of the milk in this. So in the morning, this pond will fill with the milk. Next day morning, everybody gathered there, and what happened? The pond was filled with crystal clear water. How did it happen? It was ordinance to put the milk, and it was water. One person made the choice that 1,000 people will put the milk. If I alone will put the water, who will notice it? What is the making big difference? That way everyone thought of it. And then finally it ended up in a way that pond was filled with milk. No, instead of milk, with water.
Every single person has a life that means something.
Wayne Hironaka, a teacher at Grant Union High School in Sacramento, California, went to 7 funerals of his students before he realized that something had to be done to change the culture of violence in Del Paso Heights. He started the Pacers for Peace Club.
Bullying and violence must cease. We realize that the next generation, not only here at Grant High School, but the rest of the United States and the world, need to understand and be educated on the importance of peace and get that into their hearts.
Grant High is known as a football powerhouse, winning a state football championship in 2008. It's also a school that sits in one of the most impoverished areas of Sacramento, where 25 different languages are spoken in the home. It was in this challenging environment, in Mr. Hironaka's classroom, that the idea for an international peace park was born.
I was inspired by Mr. Hironaka's talk of us students sitting in that classroom right now, right here, is the future leaders of the world.
What I've learned from being mentored in the Peace Club was that I can actually make a difference. And it's just, you don't need a big army or anything, or like a battalion of fighters. All you need is just yourself, you know. Being who you are, you can make a difference no matter where you are.
In 2007, Mr. Hironaka took 5 of his students in the Pacers for Peace Club to the Peace Memorial in Hiroshima, Japan. The group shared a life-changing experience when they listened to some of the survivors of the World War II bombing tell their stories.
The one thing that really moved me was an interview with one of the bombing survivors. Right now, she's rather old. She's probably in her 90s. It was back when the bombing happened. She was only 15, and she was in her room with her sister. All of a sudden, a big flash just exploded out of nowhere. Everything became white, and she fell unconscious. Her sister was under a pile of burning wood, and when she knew that there was nothing she could do, her sister said to go and forget her. Being powerless to do anything, she asked her own sister to forgive her, and she left her. She left her to go find her other family members. She and her family, they left the door open over the nights, for a few nights, just in case her sister will come back. But she never did.
After he and the other students got back from Hiroshima, Preston Vu made an emotional plea to the Twin Rivers Unified School District Board, asking them to donate the land right across the street from the school to create a peace park. The trustees agreed to do just that. Then the students began to help work on its design.
The park's master plan features a design reminiscent of a Japanese Zen garden.
The park will include a temple-style bell with a bronze bell,
a stroll-through meditation garden
with a dry stream bed,
and an arched wooden bridge.
An important feature is a fountain where young and old can cool off on a hot summer day.
We thought it was a decent way of bringing the community together, which is the whole intention of this project, to make the community more peaceful. Del Paso has been known for its violent behavior and crime, so we thought this would be a perfect idea to promote peace.
For the past 4 years, a nonprofit organization, I Am Peace Incorporated, International Association Mentors of Peace, has been working with the students in the Pacers for Peace Leo Club on peace-related activities, including the creation of the Peace Park.
In the years since I Am Peace has been involved with the students at Grant High School, the suspension rate has decreased significantly. It seems that an aura of peace has permeated the community.
Now that we have the plans and the land, the next step is to get the funding that we need in order to make this a reality. We estimate the cost of the park to be somewhere between $170,000 and $200,000.
On October 10, 2010, the students gathered on the steps of the state capitol to launch the Peace Park with its first fundraiser. Later, they spoke by teleconference to students in Japan.
Pacers for Peace have organized music concerts and crab feeds just to fundraise for the Peace Park. There's also been Japan Night and then an auction, a silent auction.
The Pacers for Peace Club students are leaders in a worldwide peace movement that exemplifies the transcendent power of the human spirit. They offer a beacon of hope for a future filled with peace and harmony.
I knew that I had to pursue a life of peace and try to prevent those who had no power over their lives, to change theirs so that they will also live a peaceful life.
We can either destroy our world or be people of peace, one person at a time.
Let's all sing High and Peace right now. Let's all sing High and Peace right now. Let's sing it loud, sing it strong, sing it proud, and sing it long. Let's all sing High and Peace right now. Sing a song of freedom and of joy. Sing a song of freedom and of joy. Sing of freedom, sing of joy, sing for every girl and boy. Sing a song of freedom and of joy.
Okay, so it's such an honor to be recognized on the International Day of Peace in Sacramento, a place where people have taught me so much about peace. And that peace is more than something you pray for. It's action you take. Once again, I am so happy to be back here in the state capital. Thank you. And since becoming the first Japanese in 53 years to win the Miss International title, I've spent every day working and communicating with women's leaders and people around the world who all working for peaceful future, and where children can communicate and learn compassion each other beyond borders, cultural, religious differences, and with mutual respect. Today, we have a wonderful example of global exchange and leadership as students from Matsuyama, Japan, have to come to Sacramento to continue their bond of friendship. They bring with them gifts of culture, love, and dedication to a peaceful future. I'm sure they will learn so much from the wonderful people in Sacramento as I have.
The largest city and the capital of Ehime Prefecture in Japan. We are students at the Ehime University Senior High School, and we are very honored and happy to be able to participate in the International Day of Peace event today in Sacramento. Our city, Matsuyama, is famous for being the birthplace of the Japanese poetry form called haiku. Haiku poetry is now famous all around the world, and writing haiku in English has become quite popular. We have collected some haiku poems which are filled with wishes for peace from students of our school and from people around the world. 131 haiku have been collected. There were so many great poems, but as time is limited, we will share only a few here today. Fly, dove, fly, higher than the thunderhead. Fly, dove, fly, higher than the thunderhead.入道雲よりも高く鳩よ飛べ。入道雲よりも高く鳩よ飛べ。The dove, which is a symbol of peace, flies high up over the clouds and it protects everyone's peaceful life under the blue sky. If people see this beautiful white figure, they will stop arguing and surely take each other's hand.
記憶悲しくて涙を流し心閉ざし続けていたから柔らかな人のぬくもりさえ忘れてしまった金色の雨降り注ぎ乾いた心と風永遠の前の静かな1秒愛という名のもときっと巡り合う生まれたままの大切なハートどれくらいの時が経てばこの大地に花は咲くの奪い合って憎しみ合う一人よかりの汚れた夢正しいとごまかし続けいつも誰かのせいにして血まみれの両手を掲げ子供を抱きしめる金色の星降り注ぎ実にない道を示す永遠の海に今船を出すよ伝えたい想いがある忘れないこの時を愛をもう一
Cause I'm on the edge of darkness. Here rise a peace train, take this country, come take me home again. Well, I've been smiling lately, thinking about things to come, and I believe it could be something good has begun. Peace train sounding loud, right on the peace train, yeah. Come on, peace train. Peace train, holy roller, everyone jump on the peace train. So get your bags together, bring your best friend too, cause it's getting nearer, it soon will be with you. Come and enjoy the living, it's not far from you, cause it's getting nearer, so live it all, be true.